Can the US actually pay off a $37 trillion debt? The United States owes over $37 trillion in debt, and that number keeps climbing every single day. Each president promises to fix it, to lock down the debt. But let's be honest, that's a massive number that you can't just fix with one policy or one good year of management. So what's the real plan? And why are gold and even Bitcoin suddenly being discussed as potential solutions to America's debt crisis? In this video, I'm going to break down what Donald Trump is planning to do and why this issue is way more complicated than it seems, and how those decisions might affect economy and your wallet. But first, as usual, let's keep it super simple. Imagine you have a neighbor named Sam Coltman. Now, Sam makes $100,000 a year, but somehow he's living like a millionaire. He's got 3 cars, one of them is Tesla, 5 streaming subscriptions he doesn't use, and he's always investing in random crypto projects that go nowhere. At the end of the year, he's spending $150,000, which means he has to borrow $50,000 just to keep up his lifestyle. That's basically what the US government is doing, spending way more than it makes and borrowing the rest from everyone else. So you might ask me, Emad, so Trump's mission is clear. It's either cut spending or increase revenue. Sounds pretty simple, right? Well, not really. Because if you cut spending too much, the economy slows down, and that's dangerous. See, the GDP formula, the letter G stands for government spending. And of course, if the government stops spending, jobs disappear, and businesses lose contracts, like what happened with me in my previous job. And we can talk about it in another video. But growth drops, and that's how recession starts. So instead, the government often tries to increase revenue either by raising taxes, creating new economic opportunities, or finding creative financial strategies. One of Trump's first plans is to partner with Elon Musk and use the hype around Doge to bring in extra government revenue.
And I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, which is headed by Elon Musk.
The idea was that they could save about $205 billion in the next 10 years, which sounds huge. But if you divide that number by 10 years, it's just $20 billion a year. It's just basically a drop in the ocean compared to the $37 trillion in debt. Sounds super exciting at the beginning, but if you do the math, you will find that unfortunately they couldn't deliver the results they hoped for. The US government holds over $800 billion worth of gold reserves, but even that is tiny compared to the national debt. Still, there is an idea that the government could borrow more money against that gold or against the Bitcoin it already owns. And yes, the government does own Bitcoin, mostly from seizures during the criminal investigations like the Silk Road case, where authorities confiscated billions worth of crypto and held it instead of immediately selling. The plan is that if the US builds a big enough position in Bitcoin and the price goes up, they could sell some of it or use it as collateral to borrow money more cheaply. And that would mean issuing treasury bonds at lower interest rates, saving billions of dollars every year on interest payments. Here's the catch, and it's a big one. Both gold and Bitcoin are volatile. Their prices go up and down dramatically. If the government decides to wake up in the morning and borrow money against these assets, and let's say the value of these assets drop, that would hurt the balance sheet of the Federal Reserve. Balance sheet is the financial record, by the way, that shows what the government owns and owes. And trust me, the Fed will not be happy about that. Because when the balance sheet weakens, faith and confidence in the US economy drops. And ironically, that makes borrowing money even more expensive. So here's where we are now. The US government knows it has to keep spending to fuel the economy. It's unavoidable. But it also wants to borrow more cheaply so the debt doesn't grow uncontrollably. That's why these gold and Bitcoin strategies sound creative, but they're risky. At the end of the day, there is no magic fix. The US isn't paying off the $37 trillion anytime soon. And honestly, I don't believe any president who says he will. It sounds good in speeches. Beautiful, romantic, emotional promise that people love to hear. But the truth is, the government can only manage the debt by balancing spending, borrowing smart, and focusing on the long-term growth. What do you think? Do you trust a government that uses crypto and gold to balance its books? Or this is for you maybe just a ticking time bomb waiting to go off? Please let me know in the comments below what you think, and if you find this video helpful, share, like, and subscribe for more, and see you next time.